Sinner's lawyer is not here to play games. Well, except for legal ones. After his 3-month suspension following an agreement with the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, the tennis world has been thrown into absolute chaos. The reactions have been all over the place. Some folks are foaming at the mouth, while others are shrugging and moving on. But the loudest voices? Oh, they belong to players like Nick Kyrgios, because of course, Stan Wawrinka, and the Novak Djokovic-led PTPA, who are all basically calling bullshit on the whole thing. And in the middle of this mess, we've got Yannik Sinner, his lawyer, not his long-lost twin, who's come out swinging in an interview with Sky Sports Italia. He's not mincing words, and he's got a few bones to pick with the critics. So, what exactly did he say? Was Sinner given special treatment? And most importantly, how's the world #1 dealing with the absolute circus that's erupted around him? Stick around, because this drama is only getting started. So, let's rewind a bit. Yannik Sinner tested positive in a doping test under what his legal team has dramatically labeled highly unusual circumstances. Instead of going down the long and painful road of legal battles, the Italian decided to take the pragmatic, or some would say suspiciously convenient, route. A deal with WADA that slapped him with a 3-month suspension. That means he's benched until May 4th. No tennis, no trophies, just a whole lot of unwanted headlines. But here's the kicker. Some folks aren't buying it. Many in the tennis community are raising eyebrows so high they might need surgery to lower them. They claim the world #1 got the VIP treatment, a nice cushy deal that other players wouldn't have been offered. Kyrgios, being Kyrgios, wasted no time throwing some grade A sarcasm on social media, while Wawrinka also made it crystal clear he wasn't thrilled. And then there's the PTPA, Novak Djokovic's player union, which pretty much came out guns blazing against the decision. Enter Sinner's legal bulldog, Yannik Sinner. In his interview with Sky Sports Italia, he didn't just defend his client. He practically built a fortress around him. According to him, not only is Yannik innocent, but the whole process was by the book, airtight, and as fair as can be. He made it clear that the World Anti-Doping Agency handled everything properly and that all the outrage is, well, just a bunch of noise. So, was there favoritism? A secret handshake deal? A tennis conspiracy? Depends on who you ask. What's certain is that this story isn't dying down anytime soon. She didn't beat around the bush, straight to the point, no sugarcoating. Favoritism? Hell no. The tennis players talking smack? Yeah, they've got opinions, but do they actually know what the hell they're talking about? Not really. Yannik Sinner has definitely felt like he got the short end of the stick, but hey, he's not out here throwing tantrums. He listens, he nods, he moves on. Meanwhile, his lawyer, Yannik Sinner, is out here on a mission to shut down every last doubt about whether this whole case was handled fairly. The dude went all in, making it crystal clear, this wasn't some shady backroom deal. The entire process was done with full transparency, strictly by the book, following every damn letter of the W8's official guidelines. And the final decision? Based on hard science, not some sneaky political play or outside pressure. Yet, the most jaw-dropping part of Sinner's statement? The bombshell about how Sinner has been feeling behind the scenes. According to him, the Italian star has been catching heat from his fellow players, some of whom have been running their mouths about the case without even knowing half the details. But instead of clapping back or diving into some Twitter war, Sinner has chosen to keep it classy. No childish feuds, no petty drama, just laser focus on his future in the sport. Sinner's words only reinforce the idea that while this whole ordeal has been an absolute headache, Sinner isn't about to let it break him. The lawyer didn't stop there. Oh no, he went after the hypocrisy on tour, straight up calling out players for acting all high and mighty when someone else is in the hot seat, only to suddenly play dumb when it's their own ass on the line. That little jab? Oh, you bet it got people thinking about just how these scandals are handled in professional tennis. Then there's the whole decision to not fight this thing in the court of arbitration for sport. According to Sinner, Convincing Sinner to just take the 3-month suspension wasn't easy. The guy wanted to clear his name, to prove to the world that he hadn't done anything wrong. But here's the thing, dragging this into a legal battle with CAS? That could have easily backfired. They risked the punishment getting even worse. So after weighing all their options, the team made the tough call. Take the 3-month hit, avoid a messy, never-ending court case, and make sure Sinner's career and public image didn't take an even nastier hit. So what's next? Well, with the suspension in place, Yannik Sinner is sidelined until May. And that's a big deal because it means he's gonna miss some of the key tournaments, including the Monte Carlo Masters, pretty much the grand kickoff of the clay court season. But if everything goes according to plan, the Italian will be back just in time for those crucial warm-up tournaments before Roland Garros, where he'll have a shot at reminding everyone exactly why he's ranked #1 in the world. The real question now? Will this whole saga leave a permanent stain on his reputation? Will the tennis community welcome him back with open arms, or will he keep being the target of endless criticism? And just when you thought things couldn't get any spicier, enter Carlos Alcaraz. The Spanish sensation has decided to weigh in on the drama. After his win against Luca Nardi in the Doha tournament, Alcaraz addressed the controversy in his post-match press conference. His take? He respects Sinner's situation, but he's staying in his own lane, fully locked in on his own mission, becoming the ATP's top dog. And here's the kicker, Alcaraz also took the opportunity to send a warning shot to the rest of the tour. He emphasized how ridiculously careful pro players need to be when it comes to their nutrition and supplements. "We've always been extra cautious with this," he said. And that's a message loud and clear to every player on the circuit. Watch what the hell you're putting in your body, because one mistake, one bad test, and you could end up in a mess just like this. The Spaniard didn't beat around the bush. He made it clear as day. His team doesn't mess around when it comes to supplements. They inspect every damn product with a magnifying glass before consuming anything, making sure there's no risk of accidental contamination. While Alcaraz skillfully dodged diving headfirst into the Sinner suspension drama, he subtly hinted at his stance by emphasizing that extreme caution is a must in professional tennis. "If someone offers us a supplement, we double-check every single ingredient to ensure it's safe to take," he added, making it loud and clear that his team treats this issue with military-level seriousness. No room for screw-ups. Alcaraz and his hunt for the #1 spot. Beyond the whole Sinner saga, Alcaraz has his eyes locked on the ultimate prize, the top spot in the ATP rankings. And with the Italian sidelined for 3 months, the door is wide open for him to get dangerously close to the throne. Whether Yannick plays or not, we focus on performing at our best in every tournament because being #1 is always the goal, Alcaraz declared with the kind of confidence that makes you believe he means it. Fresh off his dominant run in Rotterdam, where he bagged his first indoor title, the young Spaniard is steadily racking up ATP points, closing the gap between him and Sinner. Now, with the Doha tournament underway, Carlitos has yet another golden opportunity to inch even closer to that coveted #1 ranking. But the real question is, can Alcaraz dethrone Sinner before the Italian makes his grand return in May? W8A responds to the Djokovic criticism, Sinner didn't dope on purpose. The storm surrounding Yannik Sinner's suspension just keeps getting bigger, and now the World Anti-Doping Agency, W8A, has finally decided to address the mountain of criticism. One of the loudest voices in the chaos? None other than Novak Djokovic. The Serbian superstar didn't hold back, throwing shade at the entire handling of the case, even suggesting that Sinner might have received special treatment. But W8A wasn't about to let that narrative fly without a fight. Their stance? Sinner's case cannot be classified as intentional doping. Djokovic, however, wasn't buying it. He has been one of the most vocal critics of the 3-month suspension, calling out the inconsistencies in W8 as punishments and questioning the transparency of the system. His biggest gripe? Originally, an independent tribunal had completely cleared Sinner. But then, W8A decided to appeal the ruling, pushing for a much harsher penalty, potentially a 2-year ban. This aggressive move was meant to reinforce WADA's commitment to keeping anti-doping regulations airtight and ensuring a level playing field in professional sports. But just when it seemed like this would turn into an all-out war, something unexpected happened: a settlement. After negotiations behind closed doors, all parties reached an agreement, leading to a reduced 3-month suspension. It was a strategic decision from Sinner's camp. Take the deal, avoid a brutal legal battle, and sidestep a potentially career-ruining punishment that could have kept him off the courts for years. WADA's final say. Was it favoritism or justified? With the controversy still raging, WADA's legal heavyweight, Ross Whalen, stepped up to clarify their reasoning behind the final decision. The scientific evidence we reviewed indicated that this could not be classified as intentional doping, Whalen stated, dropping what was clearly meant to be a mic drop moment. He also pointed out that Sinner's test results showed only microscopic traces of the banned substance, further reinforcing their argument that this wasn't a case of deliberate cheating. Was this the statement that finally put the doubters to rest? Maybe for some. But for others, especially Djokovic's camp, this whole thing still smells fishy. The debate isn't going away anytime soon, and the question remains: did WADA truly act fairly in this case, or is there some truth to Djokovic's claims about favoritism? What do you think? Was Sinner treated with kid gloves, or was this just a fair resolution to a complicated case? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Tennis Zone for the latest updates, deep dives, and hot takes from the world of tennis.